Hey guys, so this has been my winter training bike setup. I've got my gravel bike, which is a steel bike, not maybe the most efficient pedaling transfer bike because it's more of like almost like a touring bike. Definitely not a race bike, the Breezer inversion, but I ride it gravel. It seems to be a great bike. I put it on the trainer, which Luke loaned me, my Wahoo, and I've been riding quite a bit of Zwift on it, and it seems fine, you know. In fact, I even use these SPD sandals, not even Shimano, but Nash Bar SPD sandals, because it's just a lot easier to put these on and off than my other SPD mountain bike shoes, which are usually covered in dirt and mud, and they're in the basement. So I had to use this bike because it's the only bike I had with the right adapters. Luke only had the 142 and 148 through axle adapters. And all my mountain road bikes that I normally ride on the trainer have quick release. So I just ordered from Competitive Cyclist an adapter kit, and kind of funny, they put this little bag in this big bike in this big box. But I got this adapter kit now, so I can put any bike that I have on there, and I want to put my regular quick release road bikes back on and try something. So I thought what would be an interesting scientific comparison with the gravel bike and the inefficient big old clunky sandals that are also pretty heavy, and then I will do a series of sprints and compare to maximum power, and then I'll swap bikes and I'll put in my one of my road bikes, and I'll use my high efficiency carbon shoes, and we'll see how I compare if I can reach higher powers. Because really the only time I've ever thought this has been holding me back Zwift racing is when I've hit the end of a race. I just don't seem to have the sprint I should have. It may just be me. It may just be it may be that I'm pushing myself too hard during the race. But like I'm maxing out at like 500 or 600 watts when it seems like in the past I've been able to hit like 800 or 900 watts sometimes at the end of a race. So let's do a test and find out. Doing my warm-up ride right now. Going to get about 10 minutes in. I'm going to warm up with a little bit of my homemade kombucha. Oh man, this stuff is so good. I've learned how to really make good kombucha. It's like drinking apple soda. I do put a lot of sugar in it. Okay guys, so I've done a warm-up. I've got my warm-up in. I've got about 12 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself 15 seconds to see what my maximum power can be, and then I'm going to repeat this 4 times, and I'll give myself a minute off between each one. I think I saw like 700 or 800 there, maybe. Not sure. I think I saw 800 for a second. All right. Alright guys, so I've swapped out my tarmac for the gravel bike, and the tarmac's got a little bit rough. I don't know if maybe these cassettes just don't, they're both 11 speed, they don't match up perfectly, but it's getting smoother the more I ride it, so I think it's going to be okay. I've given myself a good 20 minutes of 30 minutes of cool down time after switching bikes out, so getting ready to do 4 more maximum power intervals here. Okay, here we go. Yeah. 3, 2, go! Well, guys, I've had time. Oh, that camera's gonna fall. Okay, guys, I've had time to calculate up the scores and figure out, tabulate everything, and I'm really surprised. I wasn't expecting it to be this different, and there's a big difference. Okay, so test 1 with the gravel bike. 606, 537, 602, 467. Those were average wattages. Now that is, I don't know if that's exactly 15 seconds. It's hard to select exactly 15 seconds on the timeline, so I don't know if I got that exactly right, but we'll say it's pretty close. That's average. Maximum wattages, 804, 688, 873, 722. So, 771.75 maximum wattage for my 4 tests. The one that was 688, that could have been where I was going slightly downhill or something, and maybe that's an outlier, but my highest I was able to get was 873 on the 3rd test, and I think that one was maybe slightly uphill. I've got trainer difficulty down low, so it shouldn't make a big difference. So test 2 on the tarmac, average, well, let's start off. The averages were 685, 684, 717, and 698. And that come out to an average of 696, so 143 higher average. Again, I don't know if that's I don't know how accurate those averages are. It depends on where I pulled the slider. Maximum. Now, maximum, there's no, it's just maximum power I hit for that interval. 892, 856, 832, 940 for an average of 880. So, hit 940 on that last one, and I realized that with my shoes, with these specialized shoes, you know I can hit higher power numbers outdoors. I mean, you're not on a trainer. You can thrash the bike a lot harder outdoors. At least I can. But I know I have in the past been able to hit over 1,000 pretty easily. And I was just realizing that I haven't, with the cycling sandals, you don't really feel too confident pulling up on those. But with my S-Works cycling shoes here, I could lift up and pull up with the pedal stroke, and that was generating quite a bit more power. I realized I could do that a little bit on that last test, more than I even had been, and I remember the bike kind of kicked around a little bit. But the outlier there is the low, the 832. Pretty consistent numbers, but the 832 is a little low. I remember being kind of bushed on that 3rd test, even though that was my highest average power, so I kept a higher average power. So 880, 111 watts higher average with just changing out bikes. Now, how much of it is the shoes? How much of it is the bikes? Probably, I would guess that most of it's the shoes, because I could definitely feel myself hitting being more powerful. But also, I think the riding position maybe slightly had a little something to do with it. I mean, who knows? There was probably a lot going on there. But that's a huge difference. I mean, like, that's the difference between, like, me being last in all these sprints and maybe being competitive in these sprints and Zwift races. So the bike you ride and the gear you wear is going to make a big difference in Zwift, even though it's a simulated bike on a trainer. I don't know what the difference in power transfer was, but this tarmac feels a lot more spindly on the trainer than the steel bike did. It felt a lot more solid on the trainer, even though, seemingly this is producing better power. So I'm stunned. I'm really surprised. I didn't expect those kind of results. So, all right. Good test, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Later.